Welcome back to another video. Apologies if you can hear the heater in the background, but it is too cold not to have that on while I'm getting myself ready to train. It's Monday, it is 6:15. I literally just got in from walking Zuko. He is able to be walked again now after his surgery, and we just went for like a 40-minute walk just around the roads because it is dark here. But I've got bench to do here. It's week 3 of the block, so it's kind of heavy today. And then I've got to go do my accessories after, but I'm feeling in a good mood. Mondays and Tuesdays for me are hectic every week, like stupidly hectic. And they always feel quite stressful, even though like I know what I have to do on them, it's fine. So what I've started to do is I love a to-do list, like I actually love a to-do list, but my usual thing when I write a to-do list is as the day goes on, I keep adding things to my to-do list that aren't essential to do today. So even though it's really satisfying ticking things off my to-do list is just ever growing. So what I've started to do is every day I will write on my notepad the date which I was doing before, but this time the first thing I'll do in the morning or the day before, so like today's to-do list I actually wrote up yesterday when I was doing my programming block. Yesterday I wrote up today's to-do list and I literally just wrote down the essential jobs of today, because I know on a Monday I do not have time to be adding loads of non-essential jobs to my day. So that's what I did, and I had a much more productive work day, and I actually felt satisfied ticking the last thing off the list, that I had finished my work and I didn't need to add anything else to my to-do list, because anything that came in throughout today I've put on to do tomorrow first thing. So management of my time today and my tasks has felt much better, so I'm very happy with that and hoping I can continue that for tomorrow. It is still fairly late to be starting my session, but that is just the theme for Mondays and Tuesdays, because my boyfriend does come with me to do my accessory days and he doesn't get home from work until 5 most days. So by the time he's come in, eaten, generally speaking, we're not going to be going to the gym until 6:30, 7 anyway. So that's not a problem. It's just going to have Mondays and Tuesdays full, but we are trying to make an effort to get out a little bit earlier. So what I want to start doing is walking Zuko a little bit early, like mid-afternoon, and taking him for like a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock walk for like an hour. And then coming back, finishing my last jobs for the day, and then training type thing. So we'll see how that goes, but I am very aware that my Mondays and Tuesdays cannot continue how they have been, and I feel like we're on track for that. So yeah, that is a bit of an update. I am 5 and a bit weeks out, I was 6 weeks out yesterday, so just under 6 weeks out, and I'm feeling good. I am feeling good. My back's not been feeling 100% so like my lower back, but I think that's just from lack of steps over the last couple of weeks, but that's already obviously being rectified now that we can walk Zuko again, and things are just feeling, I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling happy. Really want to have a really good week of training now. I don't really know how I'm feeling about comp, to be fair. I don't really feel like it's happening yet, but that's probably not a bad thing, because usually at this point I'm starting to freak out and all of my lifts start to feel terrible. But I think having handed the reins over to Lewis, my coach, I'm not having that freak out, or at least not yet. So that's really good. And yeah, nothing else to really update you guys on, I don't think. Just trying to be as productive as possible. And yeah, it is 6:15, 6:20 now, I think. Monday evening, gonna get my secondary bench done, 3 count pauses. Don't actually know what loads I'm aiming for today, but I'll worry about that once I've warmed up. And I will show you guys my heaviest sets. Got some Larsen press to do as well, but I'm actually wearing tracky bottoms. And when I do Larsen press in leggings or trackies, it is harder to keep my positioning because my legs are not sticking to the bench, which I guess is kind of the point of Larsen anyway, so it's not a bad thing. So I don't know how that's gonna feel. But yeah, gonna get the session done. I'll show you guys my heaviest sets, and then we'll go through tomorrow's session.
Okay. I see across the room, X marked on the spot, everybody tryna zoom. But this is casual, another night with the wolves, but how should be dealing with them? She's a damn professional. Making plays for, don't need to be told, yeah she knows. Got these fellas down bad and everybody else mad. Adrenaline rush, leaving them in the dust, now they converting the stands. The world is in her hands now, she's living in my head rent free. Burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, feeling stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow, is that a wing? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous, she's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous, they wanna get a number on a roulette. Tryna find an opening, roll the dice, cold sweat.
Okay, so it is Tuesday, it is 5 to 6. Apologies for the heater in the background that you can definitely hear humming away. It is so cold. It's also so sad that I'm in here training and it's already pitch black outside, but that is not the end of the world. It's been a good day. I've rearranged my Tuesdays. If you've watched these videos for a while, you know Mondays and Tuesdays are hectic for me, but Tuesdays in particular, I've gotten into a really bad rut of training way too late. It's a fairly long session on a Tuesday, although we have this block move some of my accessories around, so my accessory session after my main lift here is a little bit shorter, so the overall length of training is actually a little bit shorter. But just you know, Tuesdays just haven't been the best days for me for a while. And I've been playing around with doing things in different orders. Like I think there was a couple weeks that I was just getting up a little bit earlier and just kind of getting everything started a little bit earlier. And today I decided to try basically forcing myself to log off work earlier. Basically, I had my to-do list, my set things I had to do today. Along with that, obviously just general replies and stuff were being done. Didn't really get many emails or anything today, so that was also a little bit easier to deal with. And I was logged off work by 2:30. And then I made some lunch, took Zuko on about an hour's walk, came home, had my pre-workout meal, let that digest, and now we're here. So I did maybe sit for a bit longer before I had my pre-workout meal because I was still quite full from lunch. That was the only thing that probably needs tweaking. But even though I'm still training pretty late, there is literally nothing else for me to do. Like all I've got left to have after this is like a snacky meal as well. Like it's not something I have to cook, not a big meal at all. Like I'm literally having a yogurt bowl as my post-workout meal. So I'm literally gonna do my secondary squats today, gonna do my secondary sumo, got some RDLs to do here, go to the gym, do like half an hour's worth of accessories, come home, have my yogurt bowl, probably in front of the TV and just chill out with Zuko for half an hour, go to bed, switch off. So that is kind of the plan. And it seems to have worked pretty well because I just think for me, like there is no way I'm actually going to be training much earlier. Like my boyfriend comes with me to the gym. We're not going to be able to actually get to the gym any earlier than like 6 p.m. anyway. You know, that time is so busy that we're kind of better off just waiting, going, getting there like 7:30-ish, and just basically getting home a little bit later. But we can get around the equipment quicker, so it kind of works out all right. So actually I think to ensure that I have a clear head when I'm training, coming in a little bit late is probably the best thing to do. The only thing is battling with one, how cold it is, and two, how dark it is by 6 p.m. now. So like I'm super sleepy because of that. But I know once I start warming up, I'll be good. Also got some load caps for today's session. So I'm not too concerned about how long it's going to take because the load caps, I mean, it's still relatively heavy. Like it's a week 3 secondary squat day. Let me have a look what I've got. So I've got ascending sets of 4. I've got a set of 4 at an RP4, a set at an RP5, a set at an RP6, but that is capped at 160. And if there was no load cap, I'd be aiming for 165 for 4 at an RP6. So Lewis basically capped me just to kind of pull the secondary day back a little bit so that my primary day can come through a little bit more, which is totally fine. I asked him kind of what he was thinking for jumps from week to week. I then have a double at 10 kilos heavier than my final set of 4. So if all goes to plan and I feel good warming up, that'll be a double at 170. 2 sets of 6 high bar at 130. So I can rush through that all pretty quickly. Ascending sets are a lifesaver when you don't want to be in the gym for ages anyway, because you're literally warming up as you go. I've then got 3 sets of 4 tempo to knee on sumo at 140, 2 sets of RDLs to do here, go to the gym, leg press, hamstring curl, adductor machine, weighted planks, oblique crunches, done. And last week I got that accessory session done literally in 20 minutes, but it'll be a little bit longer because my boyfriend's there with me this week, and obviously just waiting for someone else to do their set will take a bit longer. That's not a bad thing because it forces me to have rest. That was actually something Lewis and I spoke about after Saturday's session. I need to start timing my rest breaks. So on the schedule for British, I am in a seven woman flight, which I'm really happy about. I like short flights because I don't really want much rest between lifts, because when I train at home, I don't really have that. Like 5 minutes between sets at home for me is a slow day. So I did say to Lewis, like on Saturday, I think it was my sumo deadlift, because it was ascending sets into a top single, so if you've not watched that video, you won't know. I literally got my primary sumo deadlifts done in like 15 minutes. I literally do every week. So he did say to start timing my rest breaks based on the flight. So roughly like 6 minutes, I would say, between. Because by the time you've walked off, put in your next attempt, gone back to your seat or wherever you're chilling between attempts, you've probably had 1 attempt go in that time. So for me, it's like, okay, well, 7-woman flight is technically like 7 minutes rest. But if the platform crew is going quickly, it might be more like 5, 6. So we're going to start timing my rest breaks a little bit. Probably not today, just because I do want to get done in good time. But yeah, it's been a good day. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't think there's really any other updates. No, it's been a very standard Monday, Tuesday, but with my new to-do list system, I felt way more productive and more satisfied logging off when I was logging off, because I knew there was nothing else I had to do. Like, I knew that was kind of it. So I'm very happy with that.
Running down my neck, she be on the next victim. Get caught in a web, got these fellas spending all they got left. She be keeping the score like a follow ratio. Got these fellas praying to the Lord for a glimpse of any hope. She bad, she broke, straight unpredictable, straight irresistible. She got me in a slow. She's living in my head rent free, burning through my long-term memory. Everybody racing in a Grand Prix. They know if they don't take a chance now, then it's stay woke, no sleep, running back real slow. Was that a win? She's cold as ice, sugar-coated lies with the honey trap eyes. She's dangerous. She's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She's dangerous. They wanna get a number on a roulette. And they trying their luck, trying to lie. They really wanna be the one she loves, but there she goes, breaking all of these hearts. Can't seem to stay away from her. She's dangerous. She's dancing with intention. She's got everyone's attention. She knows she's dangerous. They wanna get a number on a roulette.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly recap things. I have still got my 2 sets of RDLs left to do before I go and do my accessories at the gym. Very out of breath, just finished my final set of deadlifts. Yeah, it's been a good session. Last week when I did this session, a major energy crash before tempo to knee sumo, and I definitely had the same thing again this week, not quite as bad. But I'll get to that in a second. Squats, I was really happy with. If you couldn't tell, was not really in the mood to train. Like, switching on at this time of night is not the easiest. This is definitely one of my hardest sessions of the week, probably. It's probably my hardest session just because of when I have to do it. Like, my primary lifts on a Saturday, I always find fairly easy to switch on for. But yeah, and I also feel like there's more pressure on my secondary day for squats in particular, because I feel like I have to really set myself up for a good primary day on the Saturday, like mentally. But having said that, I am very happy with how squats went. Yeah, really, really happy. Lewis capped me at 160 for my top set of 4. I don't even think it was an RPE 6. Like, it felt the same as the 150 set of 4 I did before. It felt really good. And the thing that I'm most happy about is that when I then went to my 170 double, I didn't tempo the descent. I was confident on the descent. And that is something I've struggled with for ages on my squats. I've said this in the previous few videos, I think. Like, as soon as the weight gets to 165 plus, even though I've done 165 for a set of 8 before, I've done 180 for a set of 5 before, like I've done 190 for a triple before, for some reason there's this mental barrier, 165 plus at home, where I just can't commit to the descent and I tempo it, and I need to get out of the habit of that. And that's why Lewis actually took tempo off of my secondary squat day to try and help me get used to going a little bit quicker on the descent again. It's definitely working, because that 170 double, nowhere near as hesitant. I did a 165 double on this session last week. Can't get my words out. And it moved quicker tonight than it did last week, I think. So I'm really happy, and it felt really good, felt confident. And like, the bar didn't feel great on my back either, and I think this is something else that's really important to remember. Like, the bar did not feel amazing on my back. Like, it wasn't a particularly good squat day. Like, my upper body is pretty tired and fatigued from last night's upper session. And generally, like, I'm just feeling a bit stiff today, and like, my back's been a bit stiffer because I'm only now getting back to doing like my normal steps and everything. So actually, I didn't feel amazing coming in, and obviously mentally I was quite tired. But I do think when Lewis load caps me, it lights this fire in my brain that I don't even know is going on, where it's like, you have to do what he's set you as your load cap, and you have to move it easier than the prescribed RPE to almost prove that I can do more than he's set me. Like, there's this thing in my brain that's like making me do that. I think that's exactly what happened tonight, and everything moved really, really well. So I'm very happy with that. Then going on to tempo to knee sumo. Last week I found it really hard to tempo, and if you've watched these videos, you'll know that I did the same thing this week, in that they just weren't quite tempo enough. More of the reps were tempoed this week, I would say. But I only filmed set 1 and 2, and I'm not just saying this. Third set, something clicked and it moved incredibly well. I think the first set was okay. It just wasn't tempoed enough as the set went on. Second set, I tried reset reps because I was like, well, maybe if I fully reset, I'll find it easier to control the tempo. It'll help me drill in that start position, which is like the biggest goal right now with sumo. But no, it just felt really off, and I felt like I couldn't really get my brace. And I found that with reset reps on conventional when I used to do them as well, where it's like trying to re-get that brace between reps when you fully reset. It's almost like I can't quite recreate the same amount of inter-abdominal pressure. So I found that on my second set. So on my third set, actually went ever so slightly wider in my stance, didn't do reset reps, just did a normal set, and I swear to God the tempo was really good on all 4 reps, and it felt really, really nice. So next week I need to remember to recreate that basically, but it's okay, it's just my energy levels are a little bit down, but it's fine because it's a secondary sumo day. It's not supposed to be heavy, it's not supposed to be super hard work, it's just supposed to be well executed at lighter loads, and that's exactly what happened. Well, the 2 sets I filmed were not well executed, and I will put my hands up and say that, and I'm very aware that they will say the same. But the third set was definitely an improvement, so that's like the important thing. I think that's all I've really got to say. I'm feeling quite bloated tonight. I had the same thing yesterday as well, actually, which I never actually recapped yesterday's bench, I don't think. Yesterday's bench session was so good, to the point where my 95 set of 6 that I did, so I did a 3 count triple at 100, a single 3 count at 105, all felt insanely strong. And then I did 95 for 6, which is pretty comfortable for me, but I swear it wasn't even an RP6. And it was like, I could have just kept going forever, like it felt like an empty bar. And then I put it into my sheet with I put an RP6 on my sheet, but I don't genuinely think it was even that. Like, I think I could have kept going all day. Like, I could have probably done like 10 more reps if it wasn't the fact that my triceps definitely would have died. But my E1RM, so Lewis has an estimated 1 rep max on the sheet, and it said 131 or something, and I was like, well, clearly we need to be loading that. Obviously I'm not there yet. But I was really stoked with how that moved. And then I did some last and after, it was fine. But yeah, I just want to say yesterday's bench was really, really good. And I do think bench is clicking. I'm getting a lot more confident on my chest, which is the biggest thing I needed to work on. So that's all very positive as well. And yeah, nothing else to really say. I think I was starting to say, and I got sidetracked, felt really bloated tonight and last night as well, which is annoying because I've actually dropped my food a little bit to try and get this weight to actually come off, because I'm still fluctuating up to like 87 at the moment, which is just not okay. But I know my movement is now going back up to normal, so it will come back down. But I really want to be cutting from like 86 at the most for comp, so I need to sort that out because I'm running out of time. So I did drop my food a little bit this week. And yeah, I'm feeling super bloated, but I think it might just be a case of I'm focusing a lot more in depth on actual food quality and training in the evening. I've had most of my meals by this point, so I've just got a bit more food in my system. So I think it's probably that. But I did find, especially for bench last night, it did affect my bracing. Like, I couldn't get my breath into my ribs last night. I found that I was just belly breathing between between reps. It was really off-putting. And then for tonight, for squats, like, I just felt like my belt wasn't quite fitting right, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say for this video. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Thank you if you've made it to the end, and I'll see you in a few days for the next one.